Hello, this is Lance Wolf, and this is Ironwolf Productions. This is the Götterdämmerung H-Wing. What went into the design of this H-Wing both incorporates the laws of parsimony, both philosophically and economically. And that's what I like to do in most of my designs. But real quick on the background of this vehicle, or I should say scratch kit model, is primarily made 100% from black core board, which is mat board, which you use in framing. Black core board is acid free, and it's a wonderful building material, and it's also 100% recyclable. I only like building from recycled parts. I like taking something that would be normally thrown away. These are scraps from a framing store, and I love taking broken toys and whatnot and just doing my best to create something out of to recycle something into a form of art using the laws of parsimony and all these things to create something for my graphic novel. And that's what this is. It's an exercise in recycling parts. The drawings for it are very rough drawings, just to rough out the form, and then from that point, most of the detail comes in the building. But I wanted this vehicle to look like a bird of prey, and my favorite angle of it is from the back, because that's when it looks like it's the most menacing, and it's my favorite shot for it. Plus, all the things that went into its design was I wanted this one landing skid steep enough that it would look like a fish hook to again make it look menacing, and also allow the pilot to run up the back of the landing leg, step on the engine, and then step on the wing. The cockpit slides and tilts forward for him to get in. It's a very tight cockpit. But that's part of what went into some of the designs. The other was I wanted to come up with a tiltrotor military aircraft that had these nacelles where the propellers would tilt within the nacelle to allow it to hover for hours. And that was part of this design. It was designed to patrol cities. One specific city called the Black City of Götterdämmerung. And in this city, there are dual platforms where these H-Wings sit parked, and they launch off at various hours and hover over the city for hours without moving. Sometimes on the higher elevations, the ship shudders from the updrafts from the buildings, but otherwise, it's a way to be this menacing, crowd-controlling. I wanted this ominous black wing, these things just hanging in the air, hovering for hours. To be very intimidating, and that's what went into the design. Was I wanted this tilt rotor aircraft that could take off and land vertically, have all the capabilities of a helicopter, as well as all the speed and range of a fixed-wing aircraft, and to be used for crowd control for that very reason. So the entire design was just to be this menacing, hovering wing, which would scan you periodically with a green beam, constantly scanning, being just menacing as it hung over you, in a sense of a bird of prey. And my favorite angle of the model is the back. I think I put more look into the design of the model from the back. It had a more interesting look to it. And the front has a certain just dark look to it. And that's so to have a black model on top of it was another thing to make it really menacing. And the top of the model I always thought would be dusty from all the air being pulled down, and the underside of the model would be absolutely pristine because it was from all the air. But that's a little what went into this model, and it's one of my earlier ones, and it was incredibly fun to build. Now I wish I'd had the forethought to make the propellers turn. In the beginning of the video I had to animate the propellers because there was a bit of moray showing through the screens, which I didn't realize back when I designed it. And like I said, I wish I would have made the motors motorized, because this was originally generated just as a model, as a maquette to show for the director's guide. But this is again part of my living director's guide, showing off all the models. Coming up soon will be some very rough artwork, which is what went into the design. And again, these are the only drawings I had done for the model, because again, I just needed to rough out the form. I can see it in my mind, and most of the detail was being done as I was building the model. Now, if I were doing it for a client, of course I would do more drawings, but since it was for myself, I only needed just the rough drawings. But there's a little of the underside, what I meant by being pristine and clean. And again, I want it to look like a bird of prey. So we're coming to the end of this video. I want to thank you so very much for watching this video. I hope you'd enjoyed it. This is Lance Wolf. Thank you.